I had a few questions for you about the banking system in general. The American Enterprise Institute says that 2/3 to 3/4 of all the bad assets in this country are actually held by only 4 banks: Citigroup, Bank of America, J.P. Morgan Chase, and Wells Fargo. Is that correct?
I don't have an answer for you offhand. Certainly, you take those 4 banks, and they're going to comprise a large portion of the banking assets in the country and in general. So, just even proportionally, they'd have a large portion. But offhand, I don't know the answer to that question.
Well, when we pass laws and allocate money to help banks in trouble, are we basically just helping these 4 banks?
Any program that's put in place, certainly our view is it's to help all banks and should be to help all banks. And granted, as some of the programs are being rolled out, it's getting to the larger banks before it's getting down to the smaller banks. But I think it's an important principle that all banks are eligible for capital investments or programs that go forward with the government.
Well, I'm more interested in the practice than in the principle. Why is it that it's taking more time for money to get to the small banks than it is for money to get to these 4 giant national banks?
Well, with the capital purchase program, as it was originally rolled out, it was the first group eligible were public corporations, and by the nature, that's more of the larger institutions. It was then rolled out to private C corporations. Only recently have we been able to get the term sheets and standards in place for Subchapter S corporations so they can start receiving capital injections, and we still don't have the appropriate term sheets for how to invest in mutual organizations. So the rollout has been slower for the smaller ones, and that's certainly been a cause for concern from the FDIC's point of view.
Well, by giving tens of billions or even hundreds of billions of dollars in aid to these 4 banks, aren't we basically rewarding them for mistakes that they made?
I think the intent of all of these programs is to try to stimulate the economy, and an important part of that is stabilizing the banking system as a whole. So we do need to take steps. We talked about key components of doing that is providing capital and liquidity. The larger banks are going to be an important part of re-stimulating the economy, and by necessity are going to be an important part of any programs that come about.